Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin in Tucson, Arizona. Thanks for joining me today for a new purchase video. And we've got a little bit of everything, folks. And I'm going to start with with an ancient, one of the most popular styles of ancients. This is the Athenian owl from Attica, silver tetradrachm. And this guy here is VF with test cuts. We'll take a look at that in just a minute here, because what you're going to have is that ever so popular owl on the back, and those are the test cuts. You've got a cut coming right across, gobble gobble turkey style on the neck, and the larger one here, so people would clip into them and make sure that they were silver. That was a pretty common thing that you would see from ancients. And so this guy here, NGC had graded VF. They have the test cuts on there. This is a coin that will have priced a little bit north of 300, I think about 340-ish on that guy. Kind of interesting, the overall shape. This is in a little bit fatter holder that they've made, but the shape of the coin, the planchet, as you will, is very interesting. Very oblong shape on that guy. All right, and we're going to move completely to a different genre here next, because we do a little bit of everything at the shop. This is a very large coin that looks like a $50, but it is a quarter, 1818. And so there is a lot of confusion sometimes when you look at a coin this size, because it looks like a $50, and it has a little bit of some, I think almost like damage over the 2, in front of the 2 and the 5, right there. And then it has a lot of that original look to it. Besides that, this is PCGS graded fine 12, a Browning 8. Browning is the variety attribution number. And this guy will be a little bit north of $300 on that guy. Kind of a fun piece. Those early quarters, for those of you doing a typeset, you know just how difficult it is to get. Next up, we've got Charles IV here, and a coin that has a sneaky amount of luster underneath the surface. Very, very original surfaces. This NGC coin is graded AU58. $1808 Carlos. So this guy is trading at about 375. The reverse looks a lot better than the obverse on this. Generally speaking, that's something that you see quite a bit on these particular 8 reals, partially because they're almost domed. So the reverse of most of these coins are almost incuse, while Carlos, the entire obverse, I was going to say, is obtuse. Well, that's not the right word, but you get the idea here. On a coin that has really nice eye appeal, especially on the reverse. There you can start to see just how nice the luster is there. And this one is from Mexico. So these you'll see from different mints. So 8 reals. There's the MO for Mexico, the Mexico City Mint. Right, next up, let's get into something US. Here's an older holder. It's got a little bit of some activity going on there on the surface of the coin. It has nice luster underneath all of that. Old NGC MS64 holder has the, what's the term there, like an engraved? Embossed. Thank you. Thank you. I heard you. I heard you yelling at the screen. An embossed style instead of the sticker style. Wish they stuck with the embossed style. Much nicer. So this guy trades for about 300 bucks there on an MS64 coin. And an old NGC fatty holder. And I decided to go ahead and we get lots of raw coins in. I decided to go ahead and show some raw coins as well today. So this particular 1902 style has a die gouge, and that die gouge is right beneath the eye. And so it's pretty wild. You can really see just how high up. So the die got a big knock in it, and so that leaves this big old piece of metal floating right across the eye socket there. You might call it the spiked eye version. This is let me see, the Snow, what is this? The Snow 4, and the FS number is 401. And so this guy I've got priced at 50 bucks. Kind of a neat little raw piece. I've got a couple more raw, a few more raw, but we'll go back and forth. Most of the stuff I have priced, I actually grabbed a couple things that I didn't price. I'll show you those next. This 1942 half dollar with some of the original kind of like album style toning to it. And some nice open field action. Overall, pretty good looking coin. Very solid for anyone's album, if you're doing an album. You know, I know I don't get that many raw coins up on our website, and I don't show that many. I probably should show more. This guy we have priced at 60 bucks as an MS63 plus type coin. So the couple coins that I just grabbed there, I've got a Widow's Mite that I just picked up. Also, speaking of shapes of things, just like that other ancient coin, this Widow's Mite is a very oblong piece. And, you know, just little pieces of it visible. A lot of it's not. But they have the Pruta there from Alex Janaeus, and the biblical Widow's Mite label showing the references from both Mark and Luke. Pretty cool. I'm not sure exactly what these guys are trading at. I think those guys were costing 40 or 50 bucks last time I was at a coin show. Quarter ounce gold Libertad Proof 2022. You know, these coins are really beautiful, and to get a proof, you know, they look really lovely. Just a very nice looking piece and proof. You know, these, I prefer the proofs quite a bit actually over the unks, because, you know, what they did is they just take that background, the sky, and make that the cameo portion. Really lovely. Proof 70 Ultra Cameo early release. Not sure what that one will be priced at offhand, but we'll get it going. Anyone out there collect Buffalo Nickels 1924 San Francisco Mint? This is the San Francisco treat. Trying to find a really nice 24S. And you can already see just the high level of detail from the hair to the jaw, to the neck, to the ribbon. And of course, they usually come super flat on the reverse. You see the difference in detail? Like the back almost looks like it was struck through grease. That's how flat these guys come. Especially that reverse die was just worn down all to pieces. So this is an old Annex VF20 in the old soapbox, and I think overall it's a very attractive piece. This guy trades at $200 on that guy. All right, we're going to go global again. Here we go with the 1794 Austrian piece, Austria, Netherlands. And this one is NGC graded extra fine 45. Kind of a fun design here. This one we got priced at $220. And we've got a whole lot of crown action. Some majors and some minors here. And the hanging lamb. And a lot of those lines you see are die adjustment lines. They're in there beneath the design, so to speak. You see a bunch of it kind of here on the edge coming into the coin. So pretty neat looking piece there. Oh boy, I've got another FS number, and now I'm supposed to remember what it was. It's on this 1864 copper nickel piece. And, you know, this is, I think it was another die gouge variety. This entire holder needs to be cleaned off. Oh yeah, so I think it's a die clash basically. So right where the ear is, you see lines that would be, well, maybe it's not a die clash per se, because what's on the backside is some of the lettering. So we're going to look closely at the ear now. Remember, in this coin, this is FS 401 Snow 5, extra fine 45. This guy we've got priced at 140. If you look at right where the ear is, you see it almost looks like shield lines engraved through the ear. And so all those lines right in the middle there, that is what the variety is on that particular piece. And a few of those little guys that I don't really have a lot of familiarity with. And going back to the raw coins here for a second, we have a relatively attractive. Now it's been cleaned. It has a little bit of that. You can see it. It doesn't have really, like polished lines, but the luster really just dies out at certain angles, and other angles it pops. So 1884, kind of like a nice AU from this from Chile, un peso, but it's been cleaned, and this I've got priced at 85 bucks. But also, look at the detail here on the shield. I always like the shield here because what they did was, this is before we did anything that was lenticular. You've got the shield has the lines going horizontally and then vertically, so that gives it a really kind of funky look as you catch the light at different angles. It kind of dances around that fasces pole in the middle of the shield. Also, symbolically, one of my favorite pieces, as you'll see, the fine-looking bird here has a piece of chain in its mouth, and it has a chain also there broken off. So really some very cool symbolism overall on this Chilean piece. Also, same thing with the shield on this side where you have the vertical and the horizontal. Lots of fine detail. They actually did a really nice job engraving those dies. I'm sure they'll be glad to hear that from me. All right, so a couple of funky pieces. I haven't figured out exactly what to do with these guys just yet. So I'm making a mess here as I go along, don't mind me. So these are labeled as chop marks, but they also have what I've been told are called ink stamps. So you'll see a bunch of stuff on here that you may just call environmental damage. And I'm still not sure exactly how much of that is intentional or not. Like some of this is just rusted, like it looks like it was at the bottom of the ocean. This is an 1873 Zacatecas piece. But you'll see here on the back that this looks just like one of those stamp marks that they put on some of the earlier Mexican documents that I have like a stamp mark that looks just like this. So basically, it looks like they took a stamp mark that they would stamp onto a document, and they actually put it on the coin. So like I said, I'm not super familiar with these guys. Same thing, here's an 1894 from Mexico City Mint. And also you'll notice these like what appears to be ink marks on the coin. This one also says that it has chop marks on it, and the chop mark is, you can see the chop mark right there in the middle on this particular coin. There's probably a couple more if I recall. The other one has a lot of stuff going on the surface, so there's another little chop mark over here. So the one with all the stuff going on the surface, it's harder to tell. This coin actually has luster underneath some of the stuff going on there, but once again, this appears to be something that was intentionally put on the back of the coin, and it appears as though it was some type of an ink. But once again, just kind of unusual. Not sure exactly on those guys what I'm going to do. The one that has the cooler ink stamp that has the funkier looking coin, I'll probably want a little bit more for, just because that actually looks like something. Those are probably be in that 1 1/4, 150 range. I have no idea on those guys, really. Something a little bit modern here. We go with a 1955 Proof 68 old NGC fatty holder coin with just some fun, funky toning around the edges, and it has that like semi-green label to it. And here's some of that little bit of just a little bit of that spot toning to it. Nothing too cray-cray. But this one is cool. It's about a $50 coin, but I like it when it's got kind of that green looking label on an old fatty holder. Really clean looking holder still for something that's probably been through lots of hands. And maybe it hasn't been through many hands. Maybe that's what's going on. We're going to stick with that theme of a kind of a more mid-century modern proof, this 1960 Ben Franklin. This guy is graded proof 68. And just a very attractive looking Franklin. This guy runs a little bit over 50 bucks, right around $50 on that guy. Just going to keep stacking here. Folks, just keep stacking. We got a handful more, including a few more raw coins to look at. Let me see what I got here. Oh, this is a kind of a fun looking Buffalo nickel. This 38, I believe, is a D over S, if I recall right, with some pretty cool toning to it. I got my 20 power. Needs a little bit of probably a little bit of acetone to get that green stuff off, Ben. But pretty sure it's the D over S variety here. Just at that little angle, you see the S popping up from behind there. This guy I had priced at an MS64 for 60 bucks. And if you're putting together a raw set of seeded halves, this one I thought was really nice. It has a very original look to it. I had it priced as an extra fine 40. Just all around pretty nice looking piece. Like the very original color tone to it. Just very original looking in general. This coin I had priced at $140. All right, what else we got going on here? Let's go back in time a little ways. This is the Eastern Roman Empire, Theodosius II, 402 to 450 AD. NGC graded mint state, strike of 5, surface quality of 2. Dear Theodosia. It's a really lovely piece. You get into that really squared off look on the lettering on these ones from that time period. But this guy, I think we've got priced at about $1,200 on that guy. Oh boy, double die reverse. Oh, how am I going to ever find out what that is? So old soapbox, annex holder, proof 67, full split bands. Look at that. They actually put the FSB on there. That's wild. I think most of the proofs all have full split bands to them. Let's see if we can pick up the double die on here. Oh, this one has some fun toning. Double die reverse. I'm trying to pick up some letter doubling here. Yeah, I think that's where it was. I'm not quite picking it up. Maybe a little bit there. Always hard to capture these really on the video, especially with a proof. That guy I had priced at 120. All right, 4 to go. Here we go. 1805. We can do this. So this one is actually, we saw a Carlos IV earlier. Here's another Carlos IV. And I mentioned we've got different mint marks on these guys. And so this one here, Lima, Peru. So it actually counts as all the letters being there. It's kind of hard to tell, but that's, supposed to have all the letters kind of represented on top of each other into one mint mark. Pretty cool looking piece here. This one I want 125 on. Called it a fine 15, but nice looking coin. And what do we got here? 3 to go. Oh, we're on the home stretch, folks. Down to our final 3 at bats. 1900, Zacatecas, very lustrous un peso. This is mint state 62. I've got this one priced at $215, but all in all, a very lovely, attractive piece. You see that planchet cracking all the way around. That you don't know if you see that circular line that goes all the way around the coin. Design, the obverse there. One more raw, one more slabbed, and then we get to go home for the day. Oh, this is fun. 1935. Raw 1935. I've got this priced as an MS64 for $95. So 1935 is one of those dates where you can actually get a really nice, attractive coin from the 30s raw. You know, a lot of the coins from the 30s, the mint mark coins, become very difficult to get in this series. The 35 Philly, a little bit more fulfillable. Philadelphia fulfillable. Easy peasy. And last but not least, some of my all-time favorites, those 1870s Indian cents, all the coins from the 1870s in that series, but you know, this is actually the date 1870. Very even looking chocolate brown obverse, not the dark, just the milk chocolate. Nice even coin. A little bit harder to find graded because a lot of guys don't spend the money on a coin that's in this price point. This one they've got graded a VG8, and we've got priced at $125. So guys, thanks. We survived another new purchase video. Thanks for being here. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can leave your comments down below, and like, share, subscribe, and do the YouTube. Thanks so much.